we're navigating right now.
Yeah. Let me give a take, in terms of what's been on my mind lately. When I think about the holidays, I think that we as Black people have to really sort of process what's happening, over Thanksgiving and Christmas. Just like what's happening with us, developmentally, economically, psychologically, stuff like that. The holidays are a time where corporations are kind of lining up like, a bunch of, alligators waiting for the wildebeest to
Oh
migrate
yeah.
across Africa. Like they literally are waiting. There's going to be a massive tectonic shift in terms of a wealth transfer
Right.
between the have-nots to the haves.
Yep.
And the haves are not people that necessarily have a lot. It's people that have a lot up here.
Mm-hmm.
Louis Farrakhan actually just the other day was giving a conversation. He put it on Instagram where he said, "What is wealth? What does it mean to even have wealth?" And he said, "Do you think wealth means that you can just go buy a bunch of material things?" And he said, "No. Wealth starts with knowledge." And
Mm-hmm.
and these are things that I agree with 100%. And in fact, Minister Farrakhan, now everybody who's in the Freedom Family has access to this. If you go into abncdigital.com, you'll log into abncdigital.com. There is a 2.5 hour joint lecture that I did with Louis Farrakhan a couple, 2, 3, 4 years ago, something like that, where we break these things down. We broke down the 4 principles of the new paradigm model, which is wealth, education, family, and community. You must rethink, everything in terms of how you approach these things. And so I love the fact that the minister did this video, because what he was saying is that, wealth starts with knowledge, because knowledge is how you gain the ability to even access wealth. If
Right.
I have the choice between being a wealthy person with no knowledge and a broke person with all the knowledge, I would much rather be the broke person with all the knowledge, because it's almost like comparing two cars. One is 100 miles ahead of the other, but one of them is a sports car that goes 100 miles an hour, and the other one it doesn't even have any tires on it.
Right.
So if you're in the lead and your vehicle for building wealth does not work, then you won't be in the lead for very long.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So ultimately, what's happening at Christmas time is all the people that have the wealth and knowledge in terms of understanding stock market participation, real estate investment, and entrepreneurship are going to be sucking wealth out of the hands of all the
Right.
people who ain't thinking about nothing but getting that baby that new toy for Christmas. Or all, well, we don't care about money. All we care about is family and having fun and everything else. Okay, go ahead and go deep in debt. Go, put, max out your credit cards. Go another $1,000 or $2,000 in debt, buying everything from clothes and shoes to food and liquor to Black Friday sales and big screen TVs and all that stuff. And,
Yeah.
and then what'll happen is, you're gonna find that you'll be worse off than you were before. So I think that just as Black people, we have to rethink how we even approach the holidays. It doesn't mean you can't participate. It doesn't mean you can't shop, but you got to understand that people are feasting off of you, and they know they're just like, okay, Americans are easy prey. They give it up
Mm-hmm.
easy when it comes to money, because they love to consume. Americans are heavy consumers. Black Americans are the heaviest among the heavy. And so, as you think about what you get your kids, little things you can do. Don't just buy your kids a bunch of toys. Buy them some shares of stock. You may get them something educational. I have my daughters and my kids, and then I have like kids I call my grandkids. So that's pretty much any kid I mentor. And if you got a kid, I'm the grandfather, right? And so I have them all on a list of people that I buy gifts for on a regular basis all throughout the year. And every gift I buy is going to be educational.
Yeah.
Every gift I buy, I'm not going to make you into an expense. You are going to be an investment for me, not an
Mm-hmm.
expense. So ultimately, being very strategic and thoughtful about how you allocate your resources over the holidays is critically important, because we can't. I mean, we complain a lot about wealth gaps and our wealth is going backwards. Well, who the hell do you think is gonna close that gap? You think white people gonna close that gap? If I'm
Yeah.
white and I got the gap working in my favor, I'm not gonna close the gap. I'm gonna look at you like you crazy because you're not trying to close the gap. You don't run in a race where you're winning and then go back and help the person that's losing and carry them in the run. In the run, no, you look at them and say, why aren't you running faster? Why do you keep running backwards? Why do you keep standing still? So I think that we have to think about this as the holidays come, because that's when literally probably about $1 trillion in resources are being splashed around the U.S. economy. It's kind of
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah, and they have a holiday set up for you every single month. That's how they've done it now.
Mm-hmm.
And I guarantee, Chris Rock said it. Just wait 1 second, and 9/11 is going to become a holiday. If they made the quote unquote crucifixion of Christ a holiday, right? Let's turn this into a holiday about giving, right? No, that was about a being who died and got murdered, right? Watch. Let it slip for a little bit. Chris Rock, and he got this great piece. He said, "Watch." They're gonna be like lobster for $9.11 lobster. Like, they make up a holiday for everything. In fact, actually, I gotta show you all something, because this is really relevant to what Doc is saying right now. Look at this. Share my screen. Look at this, y'all.
Wow. These are all the sales that they have. Labor Day sales, President's Day.
Macy's just makes up sales. It's Tuesday sale. It's the third Tuesday of the month sale. It's it's tall people sale. It's your birthday sale. It's a super weekend. What is a super weekend sale? Oh, it's just a weekend. It's a super weekend sale. It's a big November sale. It's a pop-up sale. Look at this. Look at this. They make up sales. Why is it always on sale? Everything is on sale always. And
Wow.
they're just tapping into the part of our mind that actually desires a deal, that never wants to pay full price for something. And we feel like we're getting over because we got something on sale, but they are getting over on you. When I was in college, I did an internship at Inroads, and I was at the
you were in Inroads too?
I did Inroads, but I saw how the plantation. That was my first exposure to the plantation, and I was like, that was my first exposure. I did it for 1 summer. I was like, I don't like how this is feeling and how it's working. So I did it, but I did not stay. I did not go into a job through the program. But I was at the Boyce buying office in LA, and it was what was that? I was at Robinson May, and Macy's eventually bought them. But yeah, they literally just make up sales for whatever reason, just because people like sales.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what drives all of that too. What drives it is, the dark side of capitalism is that capitalism, as it's practiced in America, is built heavily on greed, and and where does that greed come from? Well, it comes from just the very premise of how stocks are valued on the stock market. Stocks are priced based on expected company growth and whether or not you meet the expectations of growth. So what does that mean? That means that there's no such thing in a capitalist model in America. There's no such thing as having enough money or making enough money. Whatever amount you're making, you always want to make more. You always want more. And imagine a kid who, no matter how much food he's eating, he always wants to eat more. He's going to be an obese. He's going to be the biggest thing in the room. Or imagine a man where he never has enough girlfriends. So he meets your wife. He wants to date your wife. He sees a woman on the street. He wants to. That's kind of what capitalism does, and that's how it ends up draining so many resources. And what it does is it puts this really what's the word? Unfortunate. I would almost say inappropriate amount of pressure, unnecessary amount of pressure on CEOs to keep growing the company. And that's all shareholders want. So they're like, look, we don't care if you made us $1 billion last quarter. We need you to make 1.1 billion or we're going to fire you. If you make 950 million or 1.02 billion and it's less than what we expect, then we're going to fire you. So that pressure for growth is what leads them to say, okay, we got to suck the financial lifeblood out of the customer. We must suck the blood out. Yeah, and so that's why they're always like looking for a new angle, looking for a new area of the globe to expand to, looking for a new product to offer, looking for a new sale, manufacturing holidays. That's kind of how that culture works, and I think it's important to understand that because back in the early 20th century, Sigmund Freud's nephew was one of the leaders in the creation of psychology-based marketing techniques. And he said, he told his, they were trying to figure out ways to get more money out of customers. And he said, I got this uncle named Sigmund Freud over in Germany. He needs money. and he's got all this great research on how the brain works, how the subconscious mind works. So they went and they paid Sigmund Freud for a lot of his research and for consultation to help them know how to tap into people's minds, into their emotions, and get them to buy. Most purchasing is done from an emotional level. And it's just important to kind of understand that. And if you think about this, what's fascinating to me is that if you go watch videos on YouTube like how to sell to the Negro, all they talk about is how emotional black people are. And that if you tap into the Negro emotion, like the way Disney did with the Black Panther movie, like, oh, Wakanda forever, we all got to be out there, like we made it into our thing. Well, boom, then black people suddenly become an ATM machine and you can just suck money out of it. I mean, literally, you can get black people to do things financially. Like Disney knows they can get black people to do things financially that even black people don't believe they can do themselves. Like if you ask black people and said, do you think it's possible for us to raise $500 million as a community within 2 weeks to build a national school system? Most black people would say, no, that's not possible. Negroes can't work together. We don't have enough money. We're all poor. Disney raised $500 million from the African American community within 2 or 3 weeks just by tapping into emotions, Black Lives Matter, everything that triggers you. They have a database. Okay, Negroes get triggered when white people call them the N-word. Negroes get triggered when there's a police shooting. Negroes get triggered when they think they're disrespected. And they laid all this out and they put that in their marketing plan, and that's how they got black people to give them nearly $1 billion donation once they put out that movie. It's just how it works.
Yeah. So a couple things you said. Amazon actually had its most profitable quarter ever, but it didn't grow top line revenue as much as investors expected. So the shares were $2,000 like 4 months ago, because even though they were more profitable, investors overall they like to see revenue growth more so than profitability. Yep. Which is crazy because profitability is
through the roof.
It's through the roof, and it's the name of the game.
Yep.
It's not just revenue growth. So that was interesting. But what you were saying about psychology, this is a session that I do on personal branding. And what you'll see here is how these companies actually want you to think about them. So Gatorade, they want you to, anytime you're thirsty, they want you to think of them as the thirst quencher, right? Hungry. Anytime you're hungry, who wants you to think about them? Snickers. Anytime it's 3 p.m., who wants you to think about them? 5-hour energy, right? MIT, what does it mean for you? They want you to see yourself as a leader. Apple, I'm a trendsetter. Whole Foods, I'm virtuous. Victoria's Secret, I'm glamorous. Porsche, I'm special. Nike, I'm a winner, right? It's the funniest thing. These Nike t-shirts, Doc, when people are wearing them but don't work out, haven't dripped a sweat in the last decade unless it was caused by heat, right? But I'm a winner. Champions never sleep, right? But
just do it.
It's just the weirdest thing to me whatsoever.
Well, one interesting example I remember hearing about was the way they used the subconscious mind, how they used the origins of the original feminist movement to get women to buy more cigarettes. And what they did was they studied Sigmund Freud's research, and they made the cigarette into a phallic symbol. And basically their goal was to get more female smokers by convincing women that by smoking cigarettes, you're taking away the man's penis, which is the source of his power. So they would run ads that made the cigarette kind of into the penis, and it worked like a charm. They got the women to organize a big march where all the women, out of defiance, were all smoking cigarettes as a way of kind of taking their personal power. And so the cigarette manufacturers were like, this is awesome. And those are the types of techniques they use in marketing, to get you to buy things. And I just think it's important to kind of understand that, because I think as black people, I don't know if we always get that.
Yeah. So everybody, just look at this Wendy's cup. There's subconscious marketing happening right here on this Wendy's cup. Does anybody see it? If you see it, type it in to chat.
Is it down in her necklace?
Yep. It's down.
Is that mom?
That is the word mom in her.
Oh, that's so good. Oh man.
Look at that. They want you to think of their food as coming from your mom.
Oh my gosh, you kidding me, man.
Let's go to the KFC kicker. Does anybody see it? Their subconscious marketing happening right there. Anybody see it in the KFC kicker?
I don't see. What? Now, what is that? I don't even know what that is.
Dollar bill. You don't have to. Your subconscious mind got it.
Where? I still don't see
Dollar bill
it.
in the lettuce.
Oh, that's so cool. Wow.
And how much does it cost? How much does it cost?
$1. $1.
It costs $1.
Wow.
So they're just reinforcing that subconsciously by putting $1 in the lettuce.
That is insane. That is insane. I like that. That subtle stuff, man, is heavy. That is so heavy.
You know why it works? Because the subconscious mind, it processes information 500,000 times faster than the conscious mind.
Yeah, well, you know that they said actually that if they could take all the fastest computers on Earth and combine them, and they still would not be able to simulate one human brain. Like, that's how fast your subconscious mind and most of that does happen beneath the surface. And I think that's what often creates like a really heated debate and almost sometimes a slightly frustrating conversation in the Black community when we talk about like the effects of really toxic hip hop music. You know, like a lot of people say, oh, it's just entertainment. Oh, it's just music. And I try to tell people, I say, go talk to any psychologist and they'll tell you that there's no such thing as just music. If you're constantly hearing genocidal messages, you know, kill that Negro, you know, I'm not going to use the N word, but you know what I'm talking about. You know, like women ain't nothing. Go spend all your money. Let's go get high and drunk. Like, and you're putting it like to a beat. The beat from the music actually opens the subconscious mind up for suggestion. Like they're hypnotizing you and getting you to really buy into this genocidal idea. So that's why, you know, then later on when a bunch of Black people get murdered, it's not a shock to us. We're already open and receptive to the idea that Black people are supposed to be killed.
Yes, exactly. And you'll see that even though, so music is interesting, right, as a medium, because here we had Napster and you could just download it, right? You could steal it easily. But when I was looking at that song Despacito, it's some Latin song, it has 7 billion views on YouTube. How many people are in the world? 7 billion people in the world. Music, this small medium, travels faster than I think any other medium in the entire world. I think it travels faster than video. It travels faster than text. Music travels the world faster than any other medium still to this day. So,
wow.
With that, I want to bring in Tor. Tor is he's in the DR right now. He's joining us by phone. I'm going to try to see if I can get his phone.
And as you bring Tor, and I want to tell everybody, you know, remember it. Don't forget, as members of the Freedom Family, you have access to a lot of stuff in the Black Business School, pretty much everything. And what I want you to really promise me is that if you're not investing in the stock market, that you get started. You can get started with $5 in 5 minutes. If you want to learn how to invest, you have access as a Freedom Family member to the Black Stock Market Program. So just log in, theblackstockmarketprogram.com, and just log in and just watch some of the basic modules. I mean, if you want to go deeper, you can watch all the videos and get a certificate when you're done. But at the very least, go through and just watch the couple videos on how to get started quickly and just kind of make that promise to yourself that you're going to, you know, just leap over that fence from being a consumer to being a wealth builder, right? So that one little leap, if you haven't made it yet, is to go ahead and start investing in the stock market. And if you've already done that, then maybe your other leap can be to learn the basics of real estate. At blackmoney105.com, you just log in there. Blackmoney105.com has all the real estate stuff you need in order to like buy your first home or to at least learn it. Like, so remember, the first step in wealth is knowledge. So even before you have the resources to buy a home, get the knowledge so that when you get the resources, you'll know what to do. And if you've already done those two things, then go to that third pillar of wealth, which is entrepreneurship. And that's blackmoney103.com. You just log in, blackmoney103.com. And Nicole Compton is a lawyer that knows, she's a startup specialist. And Julian also is an entrepreneurship specialist. So we can answer every single question you have. There's no question they can't help you with on getting your business started. So a lack of information is not an excuse at all on any level in the Black Business School. You have everything you need right in front of you. I encourage you for this Christmas, give yourself the gift of having a great future by making that move. Just baby steps. That's all you got to do. So go ahead, man. I didn't mean to jump in. I just wanted to share that.
No, we got to be reminded because we have resources all the time. Like in my kitchen.